Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for clicking our video. We are a group of business administration students currently taking Managerial Economics course. In this video, we will try to explain the concept of elasticity. There are several important things that you need to know about elasticity, and we will start by explaining the basic elasticity concept and own price elasticity of demand. From the law of demand, we know that consumers will buy more of a product if its price declines, and they will buy less of a product if its price increases. Suppose that a company raises the price of its product by 5%. According to the law of demand, the quantity demanded for the product will decrease. However, a manager also needs to know by how many percent the quantity demanded will be affected by increase in price. To determine the magnitude of such change, we need to apply elasticity analysis. Basically, elasticity measures the responsiveness or the sensitivity of one variable to changes in another variable. To give you a clear illustration about this definition, we would use on-price elasticity of demand as our example. On-price elasticity of demand implies the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to a change in price. In other words, changes in price of a product will affect the quantity of the product that is demanded by consumers. In this illustration, we denote the percentage change in the variable quantity demanded for good X as percent delta QXD and the percentage change in the variable price of good X as percent delta PX. The on-price elasticity of demand for good X, denoted as E subscript QXPX, is then defined as percent delta QXD over percent delta PX. From this equation, since percent delta QXD is equal to delta QXD over QX and percent delta PX is equal to delta PX over PX, we may also write the elasticity formula as delta QXD over delta PX multiplied with PX over QX. If you notice, this part of the equation represents the slope of the functional relation between variable qx and px. Furthermore, with this demand function, where py is the prices of substitutes or complements, m is the consumer income, and h is the other variables such as advertising, the on-price elasticity of demand for good x may be found using this calculus. There are two important aspects of elasticity. First, its sign, whether it is positive or negative. Second, its absolute value, whether it is more than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1. The sign of the elasticity determines the relationship between variable Q and P. However, by the law of demand, the price and the quantity demanded is always inversely related, meaning that the on-price elasticity of demand is always a negative number. With regard to the absolute value of the elasticity, there are three categories that you have to know. First, if the absolute value is greater than 1, then the demand is said to be elastic, meaning that the quantity demanded for a product is relatively responsive to a change in the price of the product. Second, if the absolute value is less than 1, then the demand is said to be inelastic, meaning that the quantity demanded for a product is relatively unresponsive to a change in the price of the product. Third, if the absolute value is equal to 1, then the demand is said to be unitary elastic.
For example, let's say if a customer has only 30 minutes to catch a flight, they will be less sensitive to the price charged for taxi ride to the airport than if the flight were several hours later. This is because they have enough time to seek alternative modes of transportation such as bus, car, or even by walking. But in the short term, consumer does not have time to find available substitutes. Therefore, demand for the taxi rides will be more inelastic.
So then, I will further explain the relationship between elasticity and total revenue based on the graph. So, when we see the graph, the first thing to note is that revenue is maximized at the point where elasticity is unit elastic. If the product is said to be elastic, the revenue is gained from the more units sold, which means if we decrease the price, it will increase the revenue. Hence, if the product is said to be inelastic, if we increase the price, the revenue will drop or the revenue loss from less units sold.
Marginal revenue is the additional revenue that will be generated due to the changes in input. In order for firms to maximize their profit, they should produce where marginal revenue equals to marginal cost. The formula that has been shown in the video is marginal revenue equals to P, which is the price of the good, open bracket, 1 plus E. E is the own price elasticity of demand over E, close bracket. When own price elasticity of demand, or E, is between negative infinity and negative 1, then MR is positive, which means that the demand is elastic. And when E is less than negative 1, then MR is equals to 0, which means that demand is unitary elastic. And finally, when E is between negative 1 and 0, this means that the marginal revenue is negative, and this means that the demand is inelastic. As you can see from the graph that has been provided, the line labeled MR is the marginal revenue associated with each price output pair on the demand curve. As you can see, the marginal revenue line lies exactly halfway from the vertical axis and also the linear demand axis. Furthermore, the price for each unit sold under the marginal revenue line is less than the linear demand line. Well, why is the marginal revenue less than the price charged for the good? This is a method that a firm must follow to induce consumers to purchase more of goods. When firm charges the same price for each unit sold, this lower price is received not only on the last unit sold, but also on those units that could have been sold at a higher price had the firm not lowered its price.
The cross-price elasticity of demand is the degree of responsiveness of a quantity demanded of a commodity due to the change in the price of another commodity. To find the cross-elasticity of demand, we divide the percentage change in the quantity demanded for good X over the percentage change in the price of good Y. Determining the type of cross-elasticity of demand depends on EC. When EC is bigger than zero, we have positive cross-elasticity of demand. When EC is smaller than zero, we have negative cross-elasticity of demand. In positive cross-elasticity of demand, as this graph shows, rise in the price of one good leads to rise in the quantity demanded of other good of a similar nature and vice versa. In negative cross-elasticity of demand, as this graph shows, Rise in the price of one good leads to fall in quantity demanded of its complementary good and vice versa.
Assalamu alaikum guys. So now I'll be speaking about the income elasticity of demand. So what is income elasticity of demand? Income elasticity of demand, or YED, can be defined as the responsiveness of demand with respect to income. In other words, it is a change in quantity demanded due to the change in income. By income, I mean the money the people have. So, like other elasticities, this can also be found with a mathematical formula. The formula is as follows. Income elasticity of demand, or YED, is equal to percentage change in QD, or percentage change in quantity demanded, by percentage change in Y. The Y stands for income. So, the percentage change in income. I'll repeat. YED is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. In price elasticities, we look at the values. Here we look at the symbol. When the YED is positive, it is a normal good, and when the YED is negative, it is an inferior good. So, what is a normal good? When the quantity increases, when the income increases, the quantity demanded will also increase.